Guys, welcome back to the Desert Road. Today we have a very awesome car. It's a 2023 Model Y Performance, finished in black with the awesome 21-inch wheels. Today we're going to take a look at the car, do a full walk around, show you the space, inside, outside, and obviously take it for a drive to give you the full driving dynamics of what this baby has to offer. So follow us along, let's go. Guys, before we jump into the review, we did want to let you know that the Rule of Cars is a course we created to let you know how to buy and sell cars like this without losing much from your wallet. Check out the link below and sign up. All right, guys, let's dive in, do a walk around, talk about the exterior of the car. Again, this is the same basic shape of the Model Y we've had for years already. This performance is slightly lower, it sits lower. This is the 21-inch wheel. This is the only option on the performance. 255s up front, we got 275s in the back. Low profile tires here. The car does ride firm. Finished in this beautiful black, everything is blacked out. There is no choice to opt in or out of that. My preference is this car looks great in black, really has this sporty look to it. Honestly, I can't find too many flaws in the way this car looks. It's got the frunk in the front, you got storage space there. It's got storage space in the back. We're gonna show you some of that. This comes with this beautiful carbon fiber wing here. I really like that on the performance. Again, another way you can tell that it's a performance is it's got this line right down here finished in red. No exhaust to show you on here. Just a nice, clean, simple design that carried over from years prior and it just works on the car. All right, now that we checked out the exterior, let's jump into the interior and show you everything it's got. All right, jumping to the interior of the car. Again, the same simple theme carries through. As you can see, this has the white leather interior. This car currently has 5,000 miles on it, and from the looks of it, it's holding up really well. A lot of people like to fault these cars for a lot of build quality issues. I looked around the car and I was looking inside, and honestly, I have only a couple minor gripes. In terms of the assembly of this, there's just not much I can fault with this. All the panels are solid, there is no rattles, and all the ingredients they used feel rather premium. It's got this nice suede along the doors, the knobs, the switches, the fake leather even, and the stitching here, all is put together rather well. I'm pleasantly surprised. Again, this is not a six-figure car. This is a car that costs half that, and they did an excellent job piecing this entire thing together. Time will tell with mileage how well this holds up, especially some of these seating surfaces, how the color changes. As far as I can tell, for a couple thousand miles, it looks brand new to me, so I can't fault it for much. I love the fact that they give you the aluminum pedals. That's again a feature of this performance. Not many other things differentiate this from the long range Model Y offered or even the base, but you know, just minor touches all around do make this feel like the more premium or upscale version. Again, you have this, it's like a gray beige headliner. It looks good. It doesn't look as bad as some of the headliners that I really cannot stand, some of the beige ones they use in cars. This has a nice clean design to it. Just works. It just works in this car. Moving in inside, simple steering wheel. As you guys already know, 99% of the functions are carried out through this screen. It's honestly one of the best user interfaces in many of the cars we've recently driven. I'm thoroughly impressed of how quick it is and how responsive it is. I haven't had it glitch out on me even once. Again, there is no Apple CarPlay that you can link with this, but given that this is a Google interface here and maps, everything works just really well and super quick, just awesome. Everything from navigation to every single input on here is just very responsive. AC does work good on here. This is a pro of the electric cars. You can also pre-cool it, preheat it. All these functions are really awesome, especially because you don't even need to open your garage up to do that. You can do a lot of that through your app. So the tech is one of the selling features of this car. It's really a pro, especially if you have kids, you're loading them up, you live in a hot environment, you live in a cool environment. It really helps to have a lot of these pre-cooling, preheating features. So really awesome. Couple other touch points. Again, very basic interior here. You got the full glass roof right here. It is tinted. In a state like Arizona, it does let quite a bit of heat in. So if it was my car, I would buy the Tesla sunshade that you can cover up this entire roof with, and you can take it off when you don't want it there. So a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it would probably help with not getting this interior as hot, especially if this car is parked outdoors during the day. The stereo system, phenomenal on here. It has this great 3D surround sound. Not many people talk about how great it is. I've had all kinds of stereo systems in my cars. It's really, really good in here. It gives you this just premium sound that I've heard rarely from even the best of the systems out there. So it's Tesla design. It works really well. It sounds great in here. You can obviously link your Spotify here. It's got the Tesla based channels there as well that you can listen to for free. So link your phone to here if you like. The music is a pleasure to listen to in this car. Let me point out another very surprising feature. Again, not many people discuss this, but these Model Ys come with dual pane windows, which means they're fairly well insulated from traffic noise. Cars in this price class typically nowhere near come with that. Even my X5, that's double this price, still does not have dual pane windows, even as an option. So very, very impressed Tesla put that in. It really makes this car, especially with no engine sound, sitting at lights, incredibly quiet in here. I really appreciate that. So for those of you who don't like a lot of commotion or want to be isolated, it's awesome in a car for under $50,000. Let's look at some of the storage space in here. You got your 2 cup holders back here. You got a nice size cubby over here. Really deep storage space here. You got your 2 phone chargers here, and a glove box here that's accessible through right here, right? You got a couple of the pockets here for water storage, whatever else it might be. Overall, for a car this small, I'm fairly impressed on all the space they kind of give you over here to store everything you might need. All right, I think that wraps up the front. Let's jump in the back, show you just exactly how much room this has in the back. All right, guys, this is where this car shines. Believe it or not, the backseat room here with 2 child seats is more than I get in my X5. It's truly, truly impressive. I don't know how Tesla did it, giving you this much space, but it's an underrated feature that not many people discuss when they talk about the Model Y. It functions so well as a family car, especially if you have 2 young kids that are both rear facing. I'm not confined or restricted in any way. If I had to compare the amount of space you have back here to stretch out and put these car seats in, it's very close to equivalent to the Aviator I recently had and sold. So overall, very, very impressive. Single pane windows back here. The dual pane is only up front. You do have vents right back here for AC as well. They are controlled through the front. You can't individually control these vents, so whatever it blows out front is what it blows back here. Again, the same theme of the white seating surface carries through. It's nice that this is covered in a black vinyl plastic, so again, if your kids are spilling stuff on the ground, on the seat, sticking gum on here, it's a nice, easy to clean black surface over here. Wrapping around the back, let me show you how much room this trunk has. Overall, quite a bit of room here for a car of this size. Again, it's very impressive. You can store groceries, you can throw big stroller, small stroller. You got tons of space here on the sides, and surprise, surprise, you got a full cubby here as well. You can definitely throw a couple duffel bags in here or a medium-sized luggage over here. So honestly, even if you're using this as your family travel car, it might offer more than enough space to contain and hold everything you need. So overall, I'm very, very impressed. This car holds more and is more spacious than its small size would indicate. Let's close this up. Again, as you guys know, the charging port is located on the left side of the car over here. This little door opens if you just tap it. All right, we've checked out the exterior, interior. Now onto our favorite part. We're gonna jump in and take her on a drive. Let's go. All right, guys, on to our favorite part, which is the drive of this Model Y Performance. Again, no review is fully complete unless we discuss the acceleration of the car, and here is just phenomenal. I mean, look, you're talking $50,000 or under, plus or minus if you're throwing in tax credit. You're getting close to 500 horsepower. This runs close to a flat 12 mile. In other brands, German brands, you're spending double this price to get a performance that's not even equivalent to this. I mean, it's just a rocket from any speed. And honestly, it's not even too much in this car. It's just, I mean, yeah, it zooms out from whatever you're doing. Acceleration is just so linear, so smooth. I'm just ecstatic about it. And if you're not, you know, doing rocket launches from lights, it's very easy to drive smooth. The regen braking works really well in here. Just lift your pedal up. The deceleration is very, very impressive. It's just smooth. It's not jerky. It brings you to a full stop. Now, Tesla has been teasing online on and off that they're gonna bring back the option to toggle the regen on and off to make it drive more similar to an ICE car. This car, for some reason, even though it's a 23, does not have that option to toggle it. Some people say they have it, so I'm not sure who gets it and who doesn't. So I hope Tesla brings it back. I honestly, after a couple of days of driving this, got used to the regen braking, almost like I can't picture driving a car any other way. It just works so well. Another huge pro I didn't fully realize you get with that is you're not wasting your brake life. You're not spending thousands of dollars at a dealer on the high performance brakes that other manufacturers typically charge you. So I can definitely appreciate that and that feature so much more. Interior comfort, fine. Are these the best seats I've ever been in? No, but they are cushy, they're soft, they're not overly firm, they're not overly bolstered. I can see many bodies fitting in here quite well. Very easy to drive. I have plenty of room up front over here. Even when you have two rear-facing child seats, I'm not squished or pressed up in here too much in any way. Tesla did a remarkable job on the ergonomics of the interior of this car. Again, that you don't fully many times appreciate until you're here, you got your family loaded up, and you realize just how spacious and roomy this is. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Even though this is the performance model, this car, just like the previous iterations of the Model Y, rides rather firm. I've driven other Model Ys, and is this an improvement on the previous ones? It is absolutely, but it's still, I say for this class of car, it's probably the firmest, if not one of the firmest rides you would get in a car of this nature. The tires on here are absolutely fantastic. These wheels come standard, the 21-inch wheels. They're on the Pilot Sports, the all seasons. There's very minimal to zero road noise on these 21s, which is fairly impressive at all. The only con, again, to this entire ride is just how firm this rides, especially over broken, uneven pavements. You feel it over speed bumps, things like that. I used to be one of the naysayers who did not like the simplicity of these Tesla interiors. Now I've came to love it. It looks clean, it looks uncluttered. It almost looks like all your crap has been put away in here. You guys know everything is done through the screen, this interface over here. So overall, on this round, enjoying the simple, clean interior, uncluttered interior of this Tesla Model Y. Another huge point I didn't cover yet about this car is, again, the driving dynamics are just fantastic. With the battery down low against the bottom of this car, it really sits well on the road. It has a premium, hefty feel. It handles extremely well. It handles much better than almost any car in its class because of the way the weight proportions are in this car. The steering is very nicely balanced. You have confidence going into turns, going out of turns. It goes and steers exactly where you want it. From a manufacturer that's not really like a high performance manufacturer, they really nailed the driving dynamics of this car. Part and due to the fact that it's an EV. The other part is it feels like they really put some thought and effort into giving you a really smooth, pleasant, and connected drive experience. Again, it's a drive that you probably won't get in many similar competitors, and many times it feels sportier than some of those cars. Again, we are in a performance, so you would partially expect performance out of this car. One other thing, so Tesla's leading in its class. What Tesla claims is around 300 miles to the range. The other thing I appreciate is you have plenty of superchargers everywhere. This charges 200 miles of driving in 15 minutes. Obviously, you can set up the charger at home, you can do all that, but if you're out and about, you need a little boost, you just ping on your car, grab a bite to eat, whatever, 15 minutes, you got 200 miles of range added and you're back on the road. I don't know if anybody gets close to the claimed 300 miles that Tesla claims, but overall, to get you around on your day-to-day drives, I bet this covers range and mileage for 99% of the people out there. All right, so some of my final thoughts to kind of encapsulate what this car is about. I think where it's priced now, this car is around $55,000. I think it's tremendous value for what you get. There's really no options. The interior adds about $1,000. Some of the colors add about $1,000 here or there. So mid-50s. If you get the tax credit, this puts you into the high 40s for this car, just absolute value. You really need to spend a considerable, significant amount more in some of the other brands to get some of these features and the performance out of these cars. So all in all, I think this car is priced phenomenally well now, and I recommend anybody in the EV market to definitely take a look at what all that this offers. All right, guys, we're gonna cover the pros and cons now. Starting with the pros, I like the fact that you can preheat, pre-cool the car. As soon as you pull one of the doors open, you can set it so it keeps blowing. If you're loading up kids, if you're doing whatever, I appreciate it. You can even cool down the car before the start of your workday in the garage without even messing with the garage door or opening it up. Number 2 pro in here is honestly the interior space. Everything from back seat room to how comfortable I am here with those seats to ample storage in the front, in the back, and just all around here. This car really surprised me in something of this class of how much interior storage it gives you. And then no pro list is complete without talking about the driving dynamics. The acceleration on here is just awesome. It gives you all the power you need, whether in the city, on the freeway, and just the overall driving dynamics. The battery's hunkered down below. It turns well, it accelerates, it handles turns very well. It truly lives up to the performance badge on this car. All right, now moving into our 3 cons. Number 1 con, especially living in a very hot and sunny climate, is this glass moonroof. There's no way to cover it up. You can buy a Tesla cover for this for about $100. Put a sunshade on here, put it on, take it off when you need. So I haven't messed around with it. That should supposedly help the situation. Number 2 con is the firmness of this ride. Even though Tesla did work on improving and now it's so-called comfort suspension in here, this car still rides very firm, especially to other cars in this class. This is a daily car for most people. It's not a track weapon, but it almost rides very close to one. And number 3 con, we haven't mentioned this in our review, but the visibility over your shoulder and out the back window is absolutely terrible. It's due to the slope shape of this roof. Even looking through this rear view mirror, it's very tough to see who's exactly behind you. So that would be my 3rd con. Guys, that wraps up our pros and cons and our full review. Guys, as always, make sure to subscribe, click the like button, and help us get to 1,000 subs. Let's go!